Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today I'm going to be giving you my current build and my current guide on playing Aegislash. Now, I've been playing Aegislash jungle mostly, so it's going to be a little bit focused on that, and we'll talk a little bit about itemization for lane, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. So my current build is weakness policy, focus ban, and buddy barrier. Now I'm going to jump into the practice area and kind of talk to you about these items versus some of the other items that I've tested. I've been going back and forth on some items. I've been kind of updating on Twitter a little bit, so follow me on Twitter if you don't already about like what my thought process is. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump in the practice area. All right, here we are in the practice range in the training mode. Let's go ahead and get Sacred Sword and Iron Head. Now these are going to be the two moves that I've been using, and let me go ahead and explain why. So Sacred Sword is really the bread and butter of this. If you've seen my last video, you kind of know why I like this ability. Every time you hit something with Sacred Sword, it's going to give you a boosted auto, and you can get anywhere between 2 and 4. I didn't think that it was capped, but it might actually be capped at 2. I'm going to be honest, I need to test this on bees, so I think you can get up to 2 with this, but either way, you can get up to 2 boosted autos, I think, with Sacred Sword, which gives you a lot of potential to kind of like burst and do a lot of damage. It also has a really long range to it. The only thing about it that's weird is you see this like little dead zone. You can actually miss. You can hit the ability or like hit part of it, but you'll miss and not get the boosted auto. So it's a little bit weird in that way, but that's definitely the way that I've been using this R ability, like this first ability. Now, Iron Head is the kind of like dash move shield, and this is really, really good. And the reason why I like this more than Wide Guard is because it gives you some like reposition mobility abilities. It gives you the ability to kind of keep moving around the fight without feeling like you're stuck. And also, while you're waiting to get to a fight, you can kind of just keep spamming this and getting your boosteds up. Now you can actually do that with Wide Guard as well. But this is, you know, a little bit shorter cooldown if I remember correctly, and like I said, it acts like a dash move. So like if you're going to Dreadnought, you can kind of like dash your way, wait the 6 seconds, and then, you know, like keep preparing for a fight. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like what you can do with it. So let's talk about the build in conjunction with these items. So the thing about Sacred Sword is that it has a really high scaling. It's got like a 200% attack scaling, so weakness policy is very, very good for this character in my opinion. Also, the Unite move has a 30% HP shield, so 30% of your max health will come in as a shield, so the higher your health is, the more shield you're going to get. So weakness policy gives you damage, and it gives you a bigger shield. It's a really, really good item for Aegislash in my opinion. Now, I've experimented with a lot. I've played Scope Lens, I've played Razor Claw, I've played Muscle Band. The third item slot is, because Buddy Barrier is just kind of a must. I shouldn't glaze over that, but Buddy Barrier I think is really a must. But this third item slot that I've put Focus Band in, there's so many potential options, but if you look at the stats on this character, and I actually found this out kind of late, this character only gets 10% crit. So 10% crit chance is really, really low. So if you put Scope Lens on it, what is that? Scope Lens is like 6%. You're not getting a very high percent chance out of it. Scope Lens is yeah, 6% crit hit rate. So you get 16% crit hit rate. Now, don't get me wrong, when you crit, it is going to hit much harder and it is going to do more damage, but that chance is just lower. So I would rather opt for a more consistent item. I've been running the Focus Band because this character is squishy. It's very, very squishy, and it feels like you can dive into a fight and die incredibly fast. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing with it. Now, I want to talk about a little bit how you fight with this character. The way that I've been fighting with this character is you really want to go into a fight with as many stacks as you can built up. But let's say you have 2 stacks. You more or less want to like go all in. You want to spam out and do your damage, swap into shield mode. You probably will use this next boosted auto to heal yourself, and it reduces the cooldown of your Sacred Sword, and then you continue going in with Sacred Sword. So it's kind of like a setup phase pre-fight into a bursting phase into like an upkeep maintenance phase, which is with Iron Head, which, you know, heals you with this shields, like this boosted auto right here, the shield bash boosted auto that will heal you and lower the cooldown of your Sacred Sword, and then you go back into bursting or you go into running. Now, the only other way that I've done it is you can, like I said, you can preload, go into a fight with Iron Head, and so like if you say you have 3 stacks, you can have like your Iron Head off cooldown. If this is about to be a team fight, you can go in with Iron Head. It gives you that 4th stack. You jump in, you just kind of like start bursting, and then hopefully, you know, you can survive a little bit of time to wait for Iron Head to come back. But that doesn't really feel like it's anything crazy. You just kind of have to manage going a little bit in and out with this character. And yeah, so I talked about this build. Now I want to talk a little bit about laning, because I do think that attack weight is a great item on this character. I think in 1-1-3 meta, where you're doing the handshake, where you're kind of like farming on the opposite side of the lane, you can run an attack weight without running a score shield. Otherwise, maybe consider running, like, say, attack weight, you know, buddy barrier, score shield, or maybe trying to just do it without a score shield and running attack weight, weakness, and buddy barrier. It's gonna be interesting to see what people decide to run for lane on this character, because it changes with ranked versus let's say 5 stacking. But yeah, this is kind of my jungle build. Now I would love to play a game, so I'm gonna go ahead and queue up for a game, and hopefully we can get a good game to show off. So enjoy it. All right, we're in game now. Gonna be playing some Aegislash jungle. We're going to be taking the Shadow Sneak and jumping over the wall. So we do have, our build is going to be the Weakness Policy, the Focus Band, and the Buddy Barrier, like I said, increasing that damage by raising that attack stat for Sacred Sword. And then we have our Focus Band for a little bit of extra sustain, because this character is very all-in, very committal kind of character. And then the Buddy Barrier to increase our max health, which is the other reason why we like Weakness Policy. And you know, giving us, you know, the Buddy Barrier shield. Everybody knows Buddy Barrier. Also, just for the sake of saying, for clear time, don't be afraid to use your Iron Defense. Like, it will give you this boosted auto. It'll still get, you'll still take like the knockup from like Buffalon and stuff like that, but it'll give you the boosted auto, and you can clear fast with it. This character has a pretty fast clear time, so you really just want to like Shadow Sneak, turn on the Iron Defense, get the boosted auto from getting hit, and then keep moving. So we have our Sacred Sword. We're gonna show up. With bees, the bees do spawn, like the small bees spawn a little bit delayed, so make sure that you're not, oh, that's good. That's a big eject right there. I have my Iron Defense, just in case it tries to turn around. Okay, we want to back up here. We want it to back up here if we can. I'm gonna say, make sure you don't hit those bees a little too early. Okay, turn on this. Okay, now we can burst. We have 3 stacks of this. And nice. Huge there. Okay, yeah, so make sure that you're not too close to things that you're hitting with Sacred Sword. And also, we're gonna go ahead and just full base here because I'm low. And make sure that you are trying to hit all of them. Don't use the Sacred Sword too early on the bees, because the bees do spawn a little bit, like, slightly staggered. Alright, so that was a really successful gank. Honestly, getting this character ahead. This character feels really snowball. You see how I'm backing up right there? Sorry, I had a teaching moment. You want to back up so that way you don't miss the Sacred Sword boosted, because there's actually like a small window. So like, look, I back up so I can hit the boosted there. There's a small window where it actually like doesn't, won't connect with the boosted auto. Like, it won't give you the boosted auto if it's not in that range. So if you're too close to a target, it's not great. Alright, I'm going to gank bottom this round because I'm actually really ahead and getting close to 9, or like pushing for 9. So we're going to go for that bottom gank. Cinder is pretty far behind. Now we have our Iron Head, so we can pre-use our Iron Head to give ourselves some stacks, use it for some mobility. You'll see I'll like do this. I'll just Iron Head off cooldown, so that way I can build up some stacks. And we're just waiting. Again, same thing with the bees. Alright, so you want to go, again, back and forth between sword mode and shield mode to, you know, go through, like, different phases. Just going to burst this as much as we can. Alright, so we go into Iron Head mode, use that, lower the cooldown. Big damage here. We'll back up. That's our Focus Band proc. So, took some decent damage there. We're getting close to 9, so that's good. Spin off the base to heal. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab a berry real quick. If we get an Audino up, I hit 9, so we don't need to force just yet. Okay, well, I can't get an Audino. I can't get 9 off an Audino if I can't hit it, so... we're going to be a little bit careful here, but that Snorlax could be a kill. Gotta watch this Charizard here behind us. Doesn't seem like he knows where he wants to go. Use this, the Shield Bash for a heal. I'll go ahead and kill that. So yeah, if you have like shield bashes, you want to use that for healing, and if you have swords, then you want to use that for damage. Like right here, I can burst, and then we go into Iron Head, and then we heal with the boosteds, right? And then we reposition, and so it's a lot of kind of like timing things appropriately. Also, when you use the boosted shield, it will also lower the cooldown of your ability, of your sword ability. Now let's go ahead and use an ult here. See if we can get in here. Use a full heal. Ah, couldn't heal myself off that. The block was honestly kind of pushing me all over the place. Oh man, they get a lot. Oh my goodness gracious, they got so much there. How are they all hitting 9 at the same time? We just got Dread. Probably just a really prolonged fight, early fight. Alright, well, they got that. 550s are dead. That's good. Good rebuttal there from the Guardy. Yeah, so you just go back and forth between like, okay, I've bursted, now let me go into kind of like shield stance, and let me like kind of upkeep myself, like heal myself, lower the cooldown of Sacred Sword, and then we're bursting again. And that's really how you have to look at it. So it's just like preparation stages for the fight. Like getting yourself Iron Head stacks, going into the fight, bursting, going back into Iron Head to heal yourself to lower the cooldown of Sacred Sword, and then going back into bursting. That's really how you fight with this character. Alright, that was a really overzealous ult. This is a very unnecessary ult. Alright, I'm all about that fight. I am all about that fight. Alright. Very nice, very nice. We can get this quickly. Alright, and we're going straight to bottom lane. And actually, I have time. I'm gonna grab my blue buff really quickly. A lot of the time, if you don't like, if you just want to kill something quickly, like I don't need to go into Iron Head because it just puts me in sword mode or shield mode, and it makes me like not take that much damage or not do that much damage. So just hitting it with autos is good. Okay, this fight's starting off well. Let's see if we can get in the back line here. All right, we execute the Cinder. See if we can chase out the Charizard. I have my shield bashes for heals, so we can use that for heals. Reposition for the sword, go back into shield mode. Now I can heal again off of it. And then we execute with sword again. So, again, just kind of like positioning yourself appropriately. She might steal that. Okay, good. A surrender? No good. No good. So there you have it. Yeah, so really simple, kind of short gameplay where you kind of just go back and forth. You want to use the Unite move. You know, you can kind of save it for the execute damage, but you want to use it, honestly, to shield yourself. So if you have to use it at the beginning of a fight, you know, use it at the beginning of a fight, do what you got to do with it. But that's kind of how I've been playing Aegislash so far. The numbers on this character are really kind of all over the place. Like sometimes I'll do crazy damage. I'll do like 80k. Well, I say crazy damage. Other times I'll do like 30, 40, 50k. Just depends on the game, but you're constantly just trying to keep yourself alive and going through the different phases of bursting and healing and lowering your cooldown so you can go back to bursting. So there you have it, friends. Thank you so much for watching this guide. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, I think that focus band slot, that's the slot that I'm really messing around with. I'm just not a huge fan of putting like crit items on this character because the crit hit rate is just so low. But maybe Razor Claw would be decent. I think if you had to put one, it would probably be Razor Claw Overscope. I'm still messing around with it, so if I find anything else, I'll let you know. But as always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.